President Biden said that the USA is committed to a deeper defense of Taiwan. Does it mean strategic ambiguity has now turned to strategic certainty? And does it give the Taiwan government some claws and teeth?
What it gives the Taiwan government is an opportunity to be destroyed. That's exactly what it means. There has been, as you said, a policy of strategic ambiguity. Let's spell that out a little. Since the 1970s, the United States has agreed that Taiwan is part of China. No question. That's been settled for over 50 years. There has been what's called strategic ambiguity, meaning both sides tacitly agree that they won't do anything to disrupt by force, to disrupt this relation. That's the tacit agreement. It's kept the peace for 50 years. Not bad in world affairs. The U.S. is now disrupting it. It wants to disrupt that. The encirclement of China, all of the things I described are part of the ways of disrupting it. With Taiwan specifically, important things are happening which are barely being reported. Give you the most important of them. September 14th, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, but with a bipartisan vote, Democrats and Republicans, voted to pass a Taiwan Policy Act. It isn't yet legislation. It's a Senate Foreign Relations Committee legislative proposal. That's worth reading carefully. It calls for sharply increasing advanced military sales to Taiwan aimed at China, military exercises jointly with the United States and Taiwan, moving towards interoperability of military systems, turning Taiwan into what it calls a non-NATO ally, a de facto NATO member in effect, calls for treating Taiwan diplomatically as a sovereign country on a par with all other sovereign countries, eliminating any restrictions on diplomatic connections. This is almost a declaration of war. China isn't reacting yet, but I assume that it will. Well, that's, to use your terms, that's turning strategic ambiguity to strategic certainty. Does it give Taiwan claws? No. It makes Taiwan a target for Chinese invasion. Of course, China could invade. If the United States tried to go to war, it would probably lead to global war that kills us all. So it could happen. But from the point of view of the Taiwanese people, it's a disaster. And in fact, if you look closely, the Taiwan Policy Act follows very closely the model of U.S. policies towards Ukraine in the last decade, systematically moving to integrate Ukraine within the NATO military command, step by step. Under Biden, it moved forward last September 21, to a year ago in September, to an enhanced program for moving towards entry into NATO. That's right before the invasion. Well, they're following a similar model with regard to Taiwan, where strategic ambiguity has kept the peace for over half a century. This is all part of what we call the withdrawal. The withdrawal is accompanied by strengthening of efforts to establish hegemony, threatening war over and over. It's a very ominous situation.
Thank you so much, Professor Chomsky. I'm deeply appreciative. Before to ask you the last word to our channel, as our meeting is coming to an end, we want to thank you, Professor Chomsky, for your generosity in time and in knowledge. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Your humility should be taken as an example. Thank you.
Pretty simple. Face the world honestly, with an open mind, critical mind. When you hear words like credibility, human rights, democracy, promotion, ask yourself what they mean in practice. You can do that. Then you can look at the world openly, honestly, find a way forward to a much better future.
شكرا جزيلا لكم أعزائي المتابعين والمشاهدين. هنا دائما وأبدا حمزة الكناني، لإثراء العقل لا إثارة العاطفة.